Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Stephen Kilagi here. Um, this message it's basically about domestic violence. We've been seeing a lot of domestic violence back at home, and firstly, I'd like to wish my deepest sympathy to Grace Galvera, who her family. She's recently passed on from another victim of domestic violence in Papua New Guinea. Now, a lot of us in PNG do not understand the complexity of what goes through a woman's mindset when she's under that kind of stress. I've seen it physically myself with family members and in my own family and families and some of my own brothers doing it to their wives, and it's quite disgusting. And it all comes back down to our brothers being not being raised properly, raised in a sense where we think we have to get in the mindset of our brothers, and that's where a lot of counseling needs to come in to educate our brothers. There's no point locking them up after they've committed murder. The thing is, we've got to talk to our men early. Um, we tend to ask ourselves why our sisters keep on going back to the abusive husbands, and that comes back to psychological warfare. They also still have a sense of love for the abusive partner, and once abusive partner abuses a female, they don't want to burden their families, and they also fear for their own life. Lot of times the the partner will use psychologically, tell the wife that she's useless. She'll degrade them, tell her that he will take the kids. So there are a lot of threats involved and um, lot of control kind of leverage things that men use to kind of manipulate the woman to stay with them. If you go, I will kill you. I will kill your brother. I will kill your family. And those kind of things stick to the wives because they are very close to the husband, and at the same time they do not wish any harm to happen to their partner. So it's a really tough situation our sisters are in. It's not as easy as them packing up and leaving. There's more emotions, there's more psychological warfare happening up here in our sisters, and they really need counseling, and the husbands also do need counseling. And one thing, uh, PNG, we don't train our guys to say that suppose I'm Miriam atim belbri doesn't mean like you fight him, you man, you strong man, you some man, so you have a tough man, and that's the kind of system that we're brought up in, and that's wrong. If you want to be a real man, you got to show constraint. If a woman um, pisses you off, you use your words and you talk to her, and I think that's a better way to solve issues than to use physical um, violence against them. It's not only physical; you can mentally abuse them, like tell them that you're gonna kill them, you're gonna cut her legs. These kind of things really affect women. So coming back to um, abusive relationships, um, we really need to look at our sisters. And if you have a sister that's going through the same problem, don't just judge her saying that me helped you before and then you went back to the same guy. She is trapped in a web. She is trapped. Our sisters are trapped. So what we need to do is keep on talking to them, offering them assistance. Um, Let them know that this guy cannot harm you because I'm your brother, I'm your uncle, I'm there for you. So that's an issue today that a lot of our sisters keep on going back because they have no other options. A lot of the families we do reject our sisters because they keep on going to the same guy, but we don't know that they're actually being psychologically drained, psychologically trapped, and it's not as easy as just packing the bags and leave. So our sisters also need counseling, and the guys who abuse our sisters, they also do need counseling. Um, they haven't been taught any different. They think that you fight blue, you man. So that kind of mindset needs to stop. It's not only in PNG; it's all over the world. Men want to have power over their wife, and sometimes when the wife gets a promotion, there's jealousy that creeps in. She's no longer dependent on her husband, and that kind of ticks a lot of men off. And And men, we have to identify those feelings that make us angry. If a woman is successful, we should be supporting her. We shouldn't be jealous. Um, a lot of men have issues with wives at work, a lot of jealousy, and those are issues that you need to look at. If you're a guy that gets jealous over your wife or overzealous, you really need to reflect on yourself and see how you can solve that issue out. And that's the biggest issue. I think domestic violence starts with men's mindset. So if the government can come up with systems to help men overcome control over the wife or control over the partners, and then I think that's the only way we'll solve this issue. But if you do have a sister or auntie that's being abused, please let her know that you've got her back. Bring her in, continuously support her. She will always contact the abusive husband, because that's I don't have enough time to talk about the psychological effects. I did post something earlier on my page on Facebook. You can read into it how control measures are set in place, what husbands do and what partners do to keep the wife or the spouse or the partner under control. And and that's basically how we have our sisters and our mothers. We keep on going back to abusive partners, because there's a whole heap of things to it. It's not just easy as packing up and leaving. So please support your sisters. If you have a brother that abuses his wife, please have a. You need to get him help. Get him a psychology. We don't have enough psychologists or therapists in PNG, and that's what needs to be done. We need to talk to the men and identify those issues, why they're angry, why they're overzealous, and why they're upset about the woman. And that's the issue that we need to solve. Is we need to fix our men. So help your sisters. Give them much help they need. But if you do see an issue, it needs to be reported directly to the police, and they can do something. But we have a long way to go, and the community development, they have a big task in front of them. Anyway, that's my piece on domestic violence. It's an issue that I'm very passionate about, because I have a lot of family that have been abused, and I have my own relatives that abuse their wives, and I continuously talk to these guys, try to get them to see the light. You cannot harm another human being. You know, karimem em kad mama and papa and stuff. So those are the kind of things you gotta respect our wives. We gotta treat them and cherish them. Anyway, that's my piece. I can talk about this topic forever. I hope this kind of shed some light. If you have a sister or someone that's been abused, it's not as easy as picking up the suitcase and going. They are psychologically trapped. So please give them some help. And the more help you can give, the better. Thank you. If you like this, please comment below and subscribe to my channel. Have a great night.